After documenting the forgotten children of Chernobyl, I found myself haunted by a different kind of silence, wondering what other profound stories history has walked past. That silence led me back to 1347, as the Black Death turned the European landscape into a map of mass graves. Yet high in the Alpine ridges, there were villages that remained untouched, using the ancient instructions of the Torah as a literal biological shield against the pandemic. By washing in running channels and resting in the rhythms of the Sabbath, these communities lived while the lowlands suffocated. But in a world defined by plague, such health didn't look like a miracle. It looked like a crime. The very rituals that saved their bodies became the evidence used to hunt them down. The cold transcripts of the Inquisition still exist, ink on vellum recording the systematic hunting of those the Church called Judaizers. These were ordinary weavers and farmers put to the rack for the crime of keeping the Passover and resting on the seventh day. Sent to silence them, a young Dominican scholar steps into their valley, only to discover a community that hasn't invented a new heresy, but has guarded a thread of the faith long thought to be lost. But the weight of an empire is not easily turned, and the heavy gates of Carcassonne are already beginning to swing shut. Now he must decide whether to stand with the empire of stone or follow the kingdom of the ancient paths into the fire. Retracing these steps carries a heavy price. It is a history written in blood, and it asks a great deal of anyone willing to follow it to the end. Because for those who held the thread, the journey always led here, to a square in Carcassonne choking on the dark plumes of its own judgment, where 1,000 years of memory is threatened with one final absolute extinction. Discover the story Rome tried to bury. The Shema and the Smoke, releasing May 15th on Amazon.